victory, and I can't see now AS Roma challenging them.
No, I think, well, you never know until you cross the line, but so far, very strong from race from Beijing, and still he's lapping very quick. AS Roma is still pushing hard, just in case Davide makes a mistake, but no, Beijing looks strong.
Tottenham still holding off Eindhoven. LAN still holding off Liverpool FC. FC Porto with Tristan Gomini just might make one more challenge from 7th place. Glasgow Rangers are up to 8th. Basel are in 9th position, and 10th are Sevilla, sadly, still circulating. Borja Garcia unable to maintain that 2nd place. Some sort of problem for him.
Yes, good race from
Here we go. Here's Eindhoven and Tottenham.
Very close. We're going to have a fight in the end. You were right at the beginning of the race. You had the feeling that Tottenham was going to do a good race, and he did improve every time, and he's up there.
I should have put some money on it. Away they go then. Down the hill they come, one of the fastest parts of the circuit, braking hard into the foggy S's. Duncan Tappy, who got the drive just a few days ago to represent Tottenham Hotspur. I asked him if he was a fan of Tottenham Hotspur, and he is from London, and he lives in the London area, and he said, well, I'm not a big football fan, but he said if I had a team, it would probably be Arsenal or Tottenham. But for the sake of argument, I'm a Tottenham fan. So fair enough.
Yes, Guillermo Berman, as I was watching, is not making moves yet. He's waiting for the last lap.
News from the pits says that Liverpool have actually gone past LAN, and that's great news for Liverpool Football Club. They are going to be in a humdinger with Aston Villa in a few hours' time, but right now they've got their work cut out at Donington Park, and they're up to 5th position now. So Andy Zuber trying to hold him off, but just couldn't hold him.
No, he was starting from last position, so fantastic race from Liverpool.
So then, less than a minute to go for Guan FC of Beijing. Davide Rigon, the Italian, the youngster, going brilliantly. He has topped the times all through the weekend. And Bruce, it's just been immaculate. It's very rare in motor racing terms that you actually are at the top of the times in free practice, in qualifying, and of course with a knockout system, you've got to be on it every lap.
Yes, you do have to be on it every lap. I mean, he was up there in practice already, and you don't always expect to see the cars who's up there in practice to be up there in qualifying, but he's being so strong and flying all over the week, so it's well deserved.
Let's take a look at the last times. 1:20.9, he's been consistently right there. 3/10 quicker were AS Roma and Toccacello last time out, but it's not going to be enough. 10 seconds to go.
Yes, so that means that they have to finish the countdown, which is another 5 seconds, and that they have to do another lap after.
So one more lap after that. We've got 2 laps to go. So that there's a glint of light, if you like, for AS Roma. They may try to do something, but I can't see it happening. It's going to have to be a mistake from Beijing.
Yes, 1.5 seconds between the 2 cars, so Beijing just taking it easy. 4/10 difference between the 2 cars, but I think Beijing can take it.
Bruce, got to ask you, you've done what? 7 months, a year or so of testing. You've done more miles than anybody. You've been waiting for this day like everybody else. Did you expect 2 cars to have a 12-second lead over the rest?
No, clearly not, especially when it's the first race of the season, because the teams haven't got the time to make a difference in terms of setup to the others. But no, it's a very good race from Beijing and AS Roma. Very, very good race.
Well, that is the facts. Both Beijing and AS Roma are 1.6 seconds apart, and they have a 13-second lead over 3rd place Tottenham and PSV Eindhoven. Brilliant job done by Adrian Vaiaz in 5th place for Liverpool. He's got them right up there and some valuable points. Superb stuff for him. Into Goddard's come Beijing. We're expecting one more lap after this.
Yes.
And here we go. This is the final lap. It doesn't look as though he's going to be put under pressure. It's going to take a massive mistake. But what a story Superleague Formula has thrown up in its very first race in history. All of the great clubs of the world, all the trophies they've won. This is the least successful team amongst them. Only formed in 1992. No one really knows about Guan FC. They will after today.
Beijing, AS Roma, 2-second gap. So definitely enough time for Beijing to take it easy on the last lap, but they're still pushing, both of them, because AS Roma keeps on putting pressure.
Remember, another race to come, a reverse grid, so this man will really show just what mettle he's got, because Davide Rigon will start at the back of race 2, but he has put in an absolutely sterling performance. 2 seconds the gap he has, and he's kept a 2-second gap throughout the race. It's been an immaculate drive. The Chinese can be proud that they have picked a good man to represent their team. Into the Melbourne loop for the last time. Sliding slightly through there towards Goddard's. 1 corner to go. Here we go. Beijing Guan are going to make history by winning the first ever Super League Formula race. And they do it in absolute brilliant style. Across the line come Beijing. Quite brilliant. AS Roma will take second place. In the end, 2.5 seconds down. Tottenham still under pressure from Eindhoven. Last chance for Jalmar Berman. Can't do it. And Duncan Tappy is going to take Tottenham to the podium in England. Brilliant stuff. And that's great for English fans. Liverpool also come over the line. Great run by Adrian Baez. Across the line comes Alain as well in 6th place. Porto losing out and dropping down to 7th. Glasgow Rangers take 8th position. We'll be proud of that. They started right at the back. But Zach Speed, delighted with that. And they talk about the ups and downs. Yes! Big celebrations all round. And Beijing have done it. And what a race. And what a weekend they've had. I haven't seen anything go wrong for Davide. A really cool customer. I spoke to him this morning. I said, you know, how are you feeling? He said, oh, fine.
Yeah.
I go for it.
Looking easy. And he did a brilliant job all weekend. So far, he looks very, very strong, a lot stronger than anyone else, except AS Roma, who had a disappointing qualifying session, and they're back up to the top level for the race. So that's good for the second race. Good to see them back up there.
And the good thing, so very happy, Duncan Tappy of Tottenham Hotspur. But there is the result then, Beijing with the win over AS Roma. Tottenham Hotspur taking 3rd place, PSV Eindhoven 4th, Liverpool in 5th position, and Alain in 6th position there, just ahead of FC Porto. Tristan Gomendy fighting hard, but not quite making it. Rangers coming up to 8th position. FC Basel in 9th, and Sevilla in the end finishing 10th. Corinthians in trouble right from the start. Olympiacos also having problems. Galatasaray, Anderlecht, Borussia Dortmund, Flamenco, and AC Milan. In fact, the first team out. And of course, that is the grid. So AC Milan, ironically, will be pole for the second race, and that bodes well.
It's a heavy car. He does very fast in, very fast out, puts the power down early, suits the car, shows the result.
So, waiting for the podium for the first ever beautiful race. The conditions here are still very muggy. It started off foggy this morning, and it hasn't really improved much. So, typical Derbyshire countryside weather, but that's Donington Park for you. And in a moment, the guys will celebrate. And here's some slow-mo pictures of Tottenham in action. And you really see how much they're bouncing over the curbs and how much of the track they're using. You can see the pressure he was under from Eindhoven. There is AS Roma and Tocacello.
Yes, using all of the track. You have to use all of the track and go over the curbs with that car. It's a big, big car. It takes a lot of space on the car. You have to use as much room as you can. As we see Davide Regan celebrating. He's very happy.
There he goes, onto the podium.
So we have racing drivers wearing football shirts on the podium, which is quite good.
So the flags are raised.
Enrico Tocacello second, Davide Rigon for Beijing winner, and Duncan Tappy on the right side for the Tottenham Spurs.
There won't be too much celebration because they've got another race coming up, of course, and so I think it'll be more a case of appreciating that win and then getting back to work. How much do you think they'll change in terms of setup? I can't see Davide Rigon changing anything, can you?
No, I think he's going to keep the car as it was, and the other drivers will probably try to change, do a few bits and pieces to make the car better, but for sure Davide is very strong. Still he can work, but he won't make a big change, for sure not. And they have to...
So if you've just tuned in, you're watching the first ever podium celebrations for the Super League Formula. Tottenham Hotspur on the podium, taking 3rd place. And in 2nd place, AS Roma, Enrico Tocacello, the driver, and he is from Rome. So we've got a Londoner in 3rd place representing Tottenham. We've got a homebred boy from Rome. A big moment for Enrico, this. And it is a proud moment. He was saying a lot of his friends are talking to him again. They're not bothered that he's a racing driver, but when he's representing AS Roma, then they want to talk to him. That's the